Once Upon a Kingdom Theatre, who are going to be talking about in a critical way some of the shows that they've seen here at the festival, the other ones going on in the other tents. They performed earlier today, some of them, and now they're going to talk about some of the shows that they've seen. So about 2 minutes. So come on in, grab a seat, listen up. They're quite intelligent young artists.
So we are going to talk about a specific show today. We just went and saw Hansel and Gretel over in the War Museum. I just want to quickly give maybe a bit of an overview about what I do with the kids here. So we do kind of a 3-week workshop process where we'll learn a little bit about the business of theater criticism, what it means to be a theater critic, what it means to discuss theater in more ways than just saying I liked or I didn't like it. And then we go see a show, and our third meeting we get together and we discuss it. And it's a lot of fun. I learn a lot from these kids. They'll usually write reviews or do some like video blogs, and I post them on my website, so that's been really fun. Yeah, so we went and saw Hansel and Gretel. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I don't know if any of you guys here in the tent saw it. It was super cool. Yeah, a very interesting production, lots to talk about, so we'll just kind of delve right into it. The first question I'm going to ask is, what kind of techniques did you guys notice on stage that allowed the performers to create the different characters or allow them to tell the story of Hansel and Gretel?
I like the part they use music in this show, this play, and I thought it was great because they were playing the piano and it was playing. Sometimes it was loud, sometimes it was soft, and it went a bit with the characters, so I think it's great.
Yeah, did you have a specific example of when the music really, or like what kind of music did you notice that would come up again and again that would represent one character?
Yes, there was one beat. There was this, I won't sing it right now, but it came with Hansel, I think, and it was when he was thinking, he had plans, he was planning to drop the stones. There was this little music playing behind when he was thinking, okay, so I'll drop these stones, oh, I'll take the bread, and yes.
Cool. Also, each character had their kind of own stance. So the actress changed her body to fit each different character. So the mother kind of had her arms crossed, while the father, well, she didn't really play the father much, but he was much looser and seemed more loving. And the kids, and she showed that how the kids were holding hands and stuff. And so each character had their own portrayal, their own posture. Yeah,
so there was this pianist. At first I thought he will just play piano, but at the show he would play, I'm not very sure, but I think he was playing a little boy which was hearing the story, and he was eating marshmallows, which was pretty cool.
Well, there was this, I like the fact that they used an air vent, and there was a chair on the air vent, so when the main actress was telling the story, she was just sitting, but then when she was at one part where she was shoved into the oven, in the play, she was like a witch, and she was shoved into the oven, and then she started burning, and the air vent turned on, and she standed up, and all her clothes went flying everywhere, and it was really cool. But it didn't spread all over the room, and it kind of was in a frame, so it's really cool.
How did they create the magic on stage? How did they create the fantasy element to the whole piece? Yes.
I think it's because of the music, and she's had lights behind and just right behind her, and she had these clothes that she could lift and we can see through it. So the lights turns on and it has each time a different image.
And also I thought the pianist would be the witch because he had all the marshmallows in front of him.
he like plays into the fantasy.
I actually wanted to add on to what Bree mentioned earlier about him sorry, not him, her, about the lead changing characters so quickly. It was really cool because one second she was completely serious, and then the next second she was crying and or she was like really upset that she was so thin. And I think a lot of people will try and act out how in pain they are, but I feel like she had to really live through it, or it wouldn't have been believable. So I thought it was really cool because it really looked like she was actually in pain. So I thought that was cool.
I saw the way she wasn't really sitting on, well, she was sitting on the same spot, but sometimes she got up, and mostly because she was whenever she changed the character, she spinned her chair, and then she's a completely different person. And I thought it was cool how she just on 1 second she could change her personality.
So one of the big things in the show, it was very, the projections were very spectacular. Let's talk about those projections. How did they add to the storytelling, to the magic, to the fantasy? How are they maybe different than what you've seen? Because you guys have experience with projections and shadow work. So how do you think that they use them in maybe a different way than what you've normally seen?
Well, speaking of the magic, first of all, she had this white costume that had a lot of layers, and it was kind of intriguing to look at it because you weren't sure how it was made because it had so many different layers that she could lift, and then the projection would show on this piece of fabric that was very thin. Yeah, she would hold it up and then the projection would be on it. But the thing is, the projection, it wouldn't be on the wall, it would be just on the fabric. So it was kind of magical how it was only there. And also, there was projections all around her, and it kind of gave off this mood to the whole show, which added to the fantasy.
Like you said about the magic, it was really cool how it was on this tiny piece of her cloth, and she could there were times when she was searching through different cloths, trying to find the right one, as if each one had an image, and she was trying to find the right one. And there were parts where when it went away, she once there was this popsicle thing, and she ate it as it was disappearing.
Were always black and white, and I thought it would be black and white for the rest of the show, but for one moment it started being colorful because I guess it was the house with candy, and it was very cool when she ate popsicle. And
Sorry, I'm just gonna cut in there. What do you think why do you think there's a certain importance between the fact that the projection started out black and white and then went into color?
I think, yeah, it is kind of important because if candy would be black and white, it would be less candy-ish.
Yeah, this is the first version of the story I heard where it was the mom, direct relationship, that wanted to get rid of the kids. Because what I found was that in each other version I heard or read, it was always the stepmom, as if it was an excuse for someone who's not that close and just wanted to get rid of them to have things for themselves. But this version was that they had to keep it for themselves because that was the only thing that they needed. And they couldn't feed the kids, so it could have also been, I don't want to say for the better, but they're well, for us to survive, we have to get rid of them, and it wasn't for personal gain.
It's exactly the same thing, but at one moment they do and there's no things, then they're and there's all the,
Yeah.
The characters didn't really move a lot, and I think it was better for this show because we looked at the woman, she wasn't moving, but when she was moving, we could see every little movement, and that made the show better because it wasn't big movements, and in comedy or something, it was more dramatic and little movements, and we saw and the way she acted it, and she changed her voices. I like the way she changed the voices because she made every character a bit special. But there was this main kind of style, but still she was changing a bit. She spoke German and I liked it very much. Actually, she sang in German. And yes, so I think people were looking at the show and they were looking at the play and were noticing every little thing.
Relationship is as characters on stage, and what do you think? What are their relationships with the audience?
Well, first of all, they gave out an energy, especially when they didn't seem like they interacted. You could tell that like she and him like knew each other, and just in general, whenever they weren't doing big motions or precise motions, even if she was just sitting there at the beginning of the show, she was rocking a baby out of fabric, and she gave off an energy, and so did the pianist, because he was kind of standing in front of the stage, like protecting her. It was pretty cool.
I think I saw the pianist like a kid and the main character, I think she was like telling him a story about a girl and a boy named Hansel and Gretel, and he was just a boy with marshmallows that would eat marshmallows to calm himself when it was very intense.
The person in white is saying that the kids are hungry and he takes a marshmallow, and it's funny to us, and that's like the boy. The boy is us. He doesn't get the fact what they had to do, and just like we're laughing because he's eating marshmallows, and like, well, it was probably the point.
When I was like in the show, I was listening to the show, I was like, are they brother and sister or something? But then I'm like, no, it's impossible because one of them is like super old, the other one is like just a normal man. So like, but maybe they are, but like,
Maybe they're Hansel and Gretel.
like it's hard to believe that they're like brother and sister or something.
The most polished plays I've seen, well, they performed it for quite a while, but it was really detailed, so they knew exactly what to do and how not to overdo it, even though they didn't really exact. It's good for children of all ages. It could be a bit intense, but it's not like a nightmare, so it would be good.
Okay, so like I think that it's a good show for like everybody, but like I'd recommend it for little kids too because it wasn't that dramatic and stuff. It was funny and like comedy-ish too.
Definitely recommend this show because firstly it's only 40 minutes, so you're concentrated on the show, and then you're like, whoa, it already passed, it's finished, I want some more.